Welcome to the channel, where we explore ancestral teachings that guide us toward a fulfilling and conscious life. In this video, we will dive into a fundamental topic for well-being and happiness, self-love. Have you ever wondered how you can truly and deeply love yourself? Have you felt lost, seeking external approval or struggling with self-acceptance? Today, we invite you to discover the path to self-love through the timeless wisdom of the Buddha. Self-love is not just a trend or a motivational phrase, it is an essential practice that transforms our relationship with ourselves and the world around us. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, where we constantly face expectations and pressures, it is easy to lose sight of the importance of self-care and valuing ourselves. However, Buddha's teachings offer us a compass to reconnect with our true essence and cultivate not only better self-understanding but also provide us with practical tools to integrate this wisdom into our daily lives. In this video, we will explore 5 pieces of advice from the Buddha that will guide us on this journey of self-knowledge and self-acceptance. The first advice from the Buddha is to live in the here and now. This principle is fundamental to achieving a full and conscious life. Often, our minds wander between memories of the past and speculations about the future, preventing us from enjoying and fully experiencing the present moment. Constantly dwelling on the past or anticipating the future not only robs us of the opportunity to live fully but also generates unnecessary anxiety, affecting our inner peace and emotional well-being. The past, with its successes and failures, joys and sorrows, no longer exists. It is a reality that has faded, and although its lessons are valuable, we must not allow it to bind or define us. We often find ourselves idealizing past moments or lamenting things we cannot change. This attachment prevents us from moving forward and keeps us anchored in a reality that no longer is. We must learn to let go of the past with gratitude for the lessons it has left behind, without letting it condition or stop us. On the other hand, the future is a sea of uncertainties that has yet to materialize. We worry about what might happen, fear the unknown, and long for what we wish to achieve. However, these anticipated worries distract us from the only moment that truly matters, the present. When we excessively worry about the future, we fall into the trap of anxiety and distance ourselves from the serenity and balance we seek. We must learn to trust the natural flow of life, allow things to happen in their due time, and believe in our ability to face whatever comes. The present is the only time that truly exists. It is in the present that we can act, feel, and live. Ignoring the present, underestimating it, or distracting ourselves from it is a way of wasting our lives. Every present moment is an opportunity to grow, enjoy, and experience life in all its fullness. Living in the present means paying attention to every detail, valuing every experience, and being aware of our emotions and thoughts. It is an act of self-love and respect for the life we have been given. To fully live in the present, we must care for both our body and mind. The body is the vehicle through which we experience the world, and a clear and serene mind allows us to appreciate each moment more deeply. Practicing mindfulness, through meditation or simply by being aware of our breath and sensations, helps us anchor ourselves in the present. Taking care of our diet, exercising, and resting adequately are also ways to honor the present and prepare ourselves for what is to come. The Buddha's advice to live in the here and now invites us to release the burdens of the past and not be trapped by worries about the future. It calls us to be present, enjoy each moment, and take care of ourselves. In doing so, we not only improve our quality of life but also find greater inner peace and a deeper connection with the essence of life. Living in the present is an act of love and wisdom that allows us to be truly happy and fulfilled. The second piece of advice from the Buddha is to value our uniqueness and authenticity. This principle is crucial for developing a full and meaningful life, as it teaches us to appreciate and honor who we truly are without the need to compare ourselves to others. In a society that often pushes us to measure ourselves against external standards and compete in various aspects of life, this advice reminds us of the importance of recognizing and accepting our individuality. Comparing ourselves to others is a trap we frequently fall into. We look at the qualities, achievements, or possessions of other people, and depending on the criteria we use, we feel either inferior or superior to them. However, this comparison is misleading and harmful, as every person is unique and irreplaceable, with their own intrinsic value and particular mission in life. There is no one better or worse than you, there are simply different people with distinct stories, talents, and challenges. Understanding and accepting this is fundamental to loving ourselves authentically. To value our uniqueness, it is essential to recognize both our strengths and weaknesses. We all have abilities and talents that make us special, as well as areas where we can improve. It is crucial to accept our achievements without arrogance and learn from our mistakes without punishing ourselves. In doing so, we cultivate a healthier and more balanced relationship with ourselves. Additionally, accepting our dreams and fears allows us to better understand ourselves and work towards our goals with compassion and realism. Being authentic means being true to ourselves at all times. This means not trying to imitate others or striving to please others at the expense of our own identity. Often, we allow ourselves to be influenced by the expectations and opinions of those around us, leading us to act in ways that do not reflect our true essence. To live an authentic life, we must listen to our inner voice and follow our own path without fear of judgment or external disapproval. Authenticity also requires compassion toward ourselves and others. Being compassionate with ourselves involves accepting our imperfections and striving for improvement without excessive self-demand. Compassion makes us more resilient and helps us stay motivated even when facing difficulties. On the other hand, compassion towards others helps us recognize that everyone faces their own struggles and deserves respect and understanding. In our quest for authenticity, it is important to remember that we are all on a journey of self-discovery and growth. There is no final destination on this path, only a series of experiences and lessons that help us better understand who we are. By valuing our uniqueness and authenticity, we give ourselves permission to be truly ourselves, without masks or pretense. To live according to this advice from the Buddha, we can practice daily self-acceptance. This includes being aware of our thoughts and emotions and responding to them with understanding and kindness. It also involves setting healthy boundaries and saying no when necessary without feeling guilty for prioritizing our well-being. In summary, the Buddha's second piece of advice, to value our uniqueness and authenticity, invites us to recognize and accept our true essence without comparing ourselves to others or being influenced by their expectations. It encourages us to be true to ourselves, to celebrate our strengths, and to learn from our weaknesses. In doing so, we not only cultivate greater self-esteem and emotional well-being, but also allow ourselves to live a fuller and more authentic life. Being authentic and valuing our uniqueness is an act of self-love and respect for the life we have been given. The third piece of advice from the Buddha is to choose happiness, regardless of external circumstances. This principle serves as a vital guide for finding true peace and contentment in life, teaching us that happiness is not determined by external factors, but by our internal attitude and perspective. Often, we mistakenly believe that our happiness depends on what we possess, what we achieve, or the situations we encounter. However, this belief is an illusion. True happiness is an internal state that only we can create and maintain. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's inevitable that we will face challenges, losses, and disappointments. While we can't control everything that happens around us, we can control how we respond to these events. It is our reaction to external circumstances that determines our level of happiness and well-being. By choosing to respond with a positive and resilient attitude, we can maintain our peace and joy even in difficult times. To choose happiness, it's essential to develop the ability to see the bright side of situations. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or being unrealistic, but rather adopting an optimistic perspective that allows us to find opportunities for growth and learning in every experience. When we face difficulties, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this, and how can I grow from this experience? This mindset helps us transform challenges into catalysts for personal development. Additionally, enjoying the present moment is key to achieving happiness. Often, our minds are occupied with memories of the past or concerns about the future, preventing us from fully experiencing the here and now. Yet, the present is the only real moment we have. Learning to live in the here and now, appreciating each moment and valuing what we have, allows us to experience life in a more complete and enriching way. Gratitude is another powerful practice for choosing happiness. Being thankful for who we are and what we have connects us with the abundance and beauty in our lives. Instead of focusing on what we lack or what hasn't gone as planned, we can cultivate an attitude of gratitude for the blessings, both big and small, that surround us. This practice not only increases our happiness but also makes us more mindful and appreciative of life. It's crucial not to allow anything or anyone to steal our peace and joy. Happiness is a personal choice and should not depend on the approval or behavior of others. Maintaining our inner peace requires setting healthy boundaries and protecting our emotional energy. This includes distancing ourselves from people and situations that cause us stress or make us feel bad. By doing so, we ensure that our well-being is not at the mercy of external factors. Finally, it's important to remember that happiness is not a destination but a journey. We often think we will be happy once we achieve certain goals or fulfill specific desires, but this mindset leads us to indefinitely postpone our happiness. True happiness is found in the process, in the daily journey of life. Enjoying each step, celebrating small victories, and finding joy in daily routines allows us to live a rich and fulfilling life. Avoiding comparisons is also essential for maintaining happiness. Each person has their own path and unique circumstances. Comparing ourselves to others only leads to dissatisfaction and envy. Instead of measuring our worth by others' successes, we should focus on our personal growth and the things that make us unique and valuable. The fourth piece of advice from the Buddha is to practice generosity and altruism, which are the capacities to give and serve others without expecting anything in return. This principle is a powerful tool for cultivating a life filled with meaning and genuine connection with others. In a world often dominated by selfishness and greed, focusing on the well-being of others not only transforms our relationships but also helps us find a deep sense of satisfaction and purpose. Often, we are carried away by selfish desires and self-centered thoughts, thinking about what we want, what we need, and how to get more for ourselves. However, this attitude leads to a state of emptiness and dissatisfaction. The constant pursuit of more for ourselves separates us from others and prevents us from experiencing the genuine joy that comes from sharing and connecting. When we focus exclusively on our own needs, we lose sight of the importance of contributing to the common good and finding our own happiness through helping others. To truly love ourselves, we must learn to love others and to generously share what we have and who we are. True generosity does not only involve giving material things but also sharing our time, knowledge, skills, and feelings. By offering the best of ourselves without conditions or attachments, we create an environment of love and support that benefits everyone. Practicing generosity frees us from attachment and teaches us to receive with gratitude and humility. Generosity and altruism require a shift in perspective, from focusing on me to focusing on us. By giving and serving others, we cultivate a deeper connection with people and with the world around us. This connection enriches us and makes us feel more fulfilled. When we give selflessly, we experience the joy of seeing others thrive and be happy, which in turn fills us with happiness and satisfaction. It is crucial not to feel superior or inferior to others when practicing generosity. True altruism arises from a genuine desire to be helpful and contribute to the common good, not from a sense of superiority or obligation. We should see others as equals and recognize that everyone has something valuable to offer. Generosity is not about who gives the most or who needs the most, but about creating a culture of mutual support and shared growth. Practicing generosity and altruism also helps us find happiness within ourselves. By letting go of material possessions and the need for recognition, we discover a source of joy and peace that comes from our own being. This inner happiness is more lasting and profound than any external pleasure. The satisfaction we gain from helping others and seeing the positive impact of our actions on their lives gives us a sense of purpose and fulfillment that nothing else can provide. To incorporate this piece of advice from the Buddha into our daily lives, we can start with small acts of generosity. We can offer our time to listen to someone who needs it, share our knowledge to help others grow, or simply show kindness in our daily interactions. These small gestures have a significant impact and help us develop the habit of giving and serving without expecting anything in return. In summary, the Buddha's fourth piece of advice, to practice generosity and altruism, invites us to transform our lives and our relationships through the act of giving and serving. By focusing our energy on the well-being of others, we find a deep sense of satisfaction and connection. Generosity teaches us to detach, to value what we have, and to share it with love and gratitude. In doing so, we not only improve the lives of those around us but also discover an inexhaustible source of happiness and purpose within ourselves. Lastly, the fifth piece of advice from the Buddha is to take care of our physical and mental health, which are the pillars of our well-being. This principle highlights the importance of maintaining a holistic balance in our lives, recognizing that a healthy body and a calm mind are essential for a full and satisfying existence. Often, we neglect these fundamental aspects and adopt harmful habits that undermine our vitality and well-being. In the fast-paced rhythm of modern life, it's common to fall into a sedentary lifestyle, poor eating habits, chronic stress, and lack of sleep. While these habits may seem harmless in the short term, they have a significant impact on our long-term health. Lack of exercise weakens our bodies, poor nutrition deteriorates our physical health, constant stress drains our mental and emotional energy, and sleep deprivation affects all our vital functions. These practices take a toll on us, leaving us tired, sick, and emotionally exhausted. If we want to love ourselves, we must prioritize the care of both our body and mind. This means adopting healthy habits that allow us to stay fit and balanced. Regular exercise is crucial for maintaining a strong and energetic body. It's not just about maintaining a healthy weight but also about strengthening our muscles, improving our circulation, and releasing endorphins that boost our mood. Find a physical activity that you enjoy, whether it's walking, running, swimming, practicing yoga, or any other exercise that motivates you to move. A balanced diet is another fundamental pillar. A nutrient-rich diet based on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats provides the energy and nutrients our bodies need to function optimally. Avoiding excessive processed foods, sugars, and saturated fats helps prevent disease and keeps us in good shape. It's also important to listen to our bodies and eat mindfully, paying attention to hunger and fullness signals. Adequate rest is essential for the regeneration of our body and mind. Getting enough sleep allows our body to recover and our mind to process the day's experiences. Lack of sleep affects our ability to concentrate, our mood, and our overall performance. Creating a regular sleep routine and a conducive environment for rest can significantly improve our quality of life. In addition to physical care, it's crucial to attend to our mental health. Meditation and relaxation are powerful tools for reducing stress and promoting inner calm. Taking time for activities that relax and bring us joy, such as reading, listening to music, spending time in nature, or enjoying a creative hobby, helps us maintain emotional balance. Learning new skills and nourishing our minds with knowledge also keeps us mentally agile and curious. Furthermore, taking care of mental health involves paying attention to our thoughts and emotions. Self-awareness is key to recognizing when we are overwhelmed or trapped in negative thought patterns. When we practice mindfulness, we can observe our thoughts without judgment and cultivate a calm and clear state of mind. This allows us to respond to life's challenges more effectively rather than reacting impulsively. Negative emotions such as anger, frustration, fear, and sadness are part of the human experience, but we do not have to be consumed by them. By developing emotional intelligence, we can learn to identify and manage these emotions in healthy ways. This might involve talking to someone we trust, writing about our feelings, or practicing techniques to calm the mind, such as deep breathing or visualization. By giving space to our emotions without letting them control us, we can maintain our mental and emotional equilibrium. Incorporating the Buddha's fifth piece of advice into our lives involves making conscious choices every day to support our physical and mental well-being. This is not about perfection or following strict rules, but about treating ourselves with kindness and respect. It's about recognizing that we are worthy of self-care and that taking care of ourselves allows us to live fully and authentically. Ultimately, the Buddha's teachings on self-love guide us toward a life of balance, happiness, and inner peace. By accepting who we are, practicing compassion toward ourselves and others, living with presence and mindfulness, giving generously, and caring for our physical and mental health, we create a life that is rich with meaning and fulfillment. And so we conclude our journey through the Buddha's 5 pieces of advice for discovering and cultivating self-love. We hope that these Buddhist teachings have inspired you and provided practical tools to integrate self-love into your daily life. Remember, self-love is not a goal to be achieved once and for all. It is a continuous journey of self-discovery and growth. Living in the present, embracing your authenticity, choosing happiness, practicing generosity, and taking care of your physical and mental health are essential steps along this path. We invite you to reflect on these principles and apply them to your everyday life. Don't worry if progress is gradual. What matters most is maintaining the intention and perseverance. Each small step brings you closer to a life of greater self-acceptance and well-being.